morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody? I'm Sam, and welcome to another live stream. Today, we're going to check out the markets. We have a little bit of a rebound happening on BTC. We came off these lows, tested the lows again at 62.22 on Bitfinex, and also didn't retest the lows on BitMEX, unfortunately. But we've kind of come up, and looks like we're making a push up back into the 6,400 area. Could be a possibility, or we just flatten out. I don't know. I don't see us making a huge push, but we'll get into the strategy of the day a little later on. So let's take a look at the daily. Broke through this wedge, and now we're out into the bigger wedge, which is out here. So if we think that we're going to continue down in this wedge pattern, it would mean that we're here, that we're ranging around in the 6,100, 6,000 area for the next, I don't know, 2 weeks. Oh God, that would be boring. What I want to see is action down to 5,800 and below. It would be really great to break out the bottom of the wedge. E is going to pump. We're going to see similar patterns on everything. LTC is pumping. TRX is okay, and Cardano. So Cardano and Tron look to be the weakest out of all of them. So let's just go through them and see if we can find some areas to short. Okay, so I'd probably want to short at this volume area. If you think we're going to build out the volume up to here, so maybe this like 786. If we get a rally, so I'm just going to draw a box. All right, so let's say let's get rid of the log as well too. Okay, so let's say anything above here, we're going to fill out this range. Does this go green, or is it just like this, right? So we're going to fill out this range over the next few days. This is the kind of short anything in here range. If we have that pop up to here, you can see that we didn't have any volume between 789 and 720, 780 and 720. So those are all good areas that need to be filled out with some volume before we actually continue down. XRP. Oh, not as bad. So here we have a lot of volume that's occurred, and maybe there's only like a 10% move to be had. I don't know. I mean, it could be up to here if we push through this kind of sticky area where a lot of volume's taking place. LTC. Let's try to catch some more of this move. It's okay. So LTC, it's also pretty evident here as well. Can I get rid of this percentage sign? Regular. I might count down the close, but how do I get rid of the labels? No overlapping values. Okay, I want to get rid of this because it's hard to see. Anyways, so this is the area for LTC to short. LTC looks really, really nasty. TRX is looking a little bit better, but you can see this is the volume area that kind of needs to fill out. And then ADA. So this is almost like a 2-week volume area that we're looking at on all of these. And ADA, let's fill out here. Yeah, that seems about right. EOS. Actually, EOS had a very nice auction. Look at that. Very nice auction, which leads me to believe that there is going to be some sort of sell-off in That's a very, 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 very nice auction. So what I would like to see is a new point of control form down here in this kind of 8,000 area. You know, if we could have the most volume build out of here, then we could get a more even distribution, because again, we're super bottom heavy, or actually we're super top heavy right now, which traditionally would mean that we need to pump up and come over here, but I don't really see a rally happening right now for EOS. I'm actually looking to short EOS. We can take a look at the dollar chart because it's much easier to see. And we'll come out to the 12-hour. So here is an EOS chart, and I may even zoom out to the 2-day, right? So let's take this, right? So here we have this extremely long trend line. Here we have this extremely long trend line that we've stuck to, and then also we have this. This is where we're at right now with EOS. Again, very long trend line over the course of months that we've respected it. I can even take this down here so it's not as steep. But we're in this wedge, massive wedge, right? That's been building for months and months and months. And all of a sudden, now on the 12-hour, we'll come down. We can see that we're testing this extremely long trend line again. Why am I don't want this percent value. I don't know why it's getting edged. I don't want to show the angle. Okay, thank you. Okay, so now we're actually testing this long-term trend line. We can see that we bounced over here, kind of touched it a few times here, but now we're actually testing it for the fourth time. I think fourth time. Yeah, so fourth time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth time, and we're at the end of this wedge. So if we do break through here, which is I think the trade to play here, right? We're going to have an amazing short. So this is going to be broken at about 510. We can take a very tight stop loss. We can say that this candle, right, as long as we don't go above this candle, which is a 5% move, right, we will be in the clear. However, for the down move, we'd easily retest these lows down here at 4.2. That would be the place to go. So that is the trade of the day. Now that's a 3-to-1 risk reward, roughly. You could take it even down to 4. I was talking with with Matt, a good friend of mine, who I should actually have on the podcast sometime, because all we do is talk about trading. He thinks that if we break here, we could even go down to could even come down to 2, because look at the volume, right? So over here we have a big set of volume here, we have a big set of volume here in the 5, and there's nothing in between. So if we were to fall through, we could come all the way down to 2, because there's nothing there, and that could be another 60% decline from where we're at right now, and that would definitely signal bottom at that point for EOS. I don't really want to think about what the market has to be like for it to go down there, but definite possibility, and that's an 11-to-1. So it's something to keep in mind. You can see that it really doesn't look good for EOS at all. So on the wave cross, we've actually crossed on the 12, and we've started to pitch over. The stochastics have already actually turned over as well too. So it's very bearish signals, extremely. Plus, look at the volume decline as well too. Like, nobody's buying any of this up move right here, or this continuation pattern. The volume only starts to pick up as the price moves down, and then even in today, there's very little volume. So I would assume that as this comes down further, once we break through this 5-1 area, we'll start to see volume pick up again, and especially down as we get into the 4 and the 3 area. So yeah, that is the trade of the day. So it's a 3-to-1, 5, 15, so 15%. You get 10x it, so you go 150% on the trade. So let's make that the trade of the day. Trade of the day is EOS breaking 5-1, right, with stops at, we'll just use the previous highs, right? So stops at 5.3 and targeting the previous lows, which were roughly at 4. Now it's 4-to-1. Okay, so 4 would be the low that you would be wanting to look for. 5-to-4, which is essentially a 20% move, which is a 200% move on a 10x position at BitMEX. But again, this really depends on whether we respect this support area at 6,000. Actually, the BTC one's a little bit easier to look at. Yeah, here we don't have as much. This is the long-term support. I would expect us to come and test it again. It's a very long-term support, so we're probably going to break it at some time, because as those things continue on and form these continuation patterns, the higher the chances become that they actually get broken. Okay, let's go look at some Binance pairs. And we're going to look in the 12-hour. So let's take a look at what is moving today on Binance. Oh, PCPT. This is because they released their new lender app. But again, great trade. On a daily, it's going to look very nice. This is a great trade on the daily, where you get an entry here as it's middling along. Here we get an entry. We don't get an actual full close below the daily, and then we get just to see this continuation pattern. So again, testing new highs is not out of the not out of the possibility. Vibe, no, that doesn't look good. That's a short. Mana, again, I would like to see it come above the 21 and stay above the 21 before it actually goes up. BO Credit Network, no. Wings, no, I don't like the setup because it's below. This actually looks like a short. Quark, man, that's a sell. So here, look, we have a sell signal on the wave trend with crosses, plus we have a stochastics which are turning over. So the time may have come for Quark Chain to sell it, which looks to be the case. Nano looks terrible. WePower, again, terrible. BAT, no, I don't like that. Don't like any of these. So because of the down move in BTC, I'm not seeing a lot of strong candidates. Let's check out Ontology. No. Eternity, here we are. This is actually really nice. So if it comes down to the 1650 area, or even the 1650 to 1700, that's a probable buy. I want to see how it plays out. Same thing for one chain's over. It's unfortunate. PPT, CDT. So that's nice. Mithril's on the move again. Knowles, no. IOST, no. Sub, no. YoYoBit, no. VeChain, no. Steam, no. Sky, yeah, look at that. Didn't close below the 21 EMA, holding above it. That's a re-entry right there for Sky, as long as it stays above it. So you could have very tight stops here. 25 sats.